Good morning, Mr. Robinson.
Good morning. Okay, so I'll take attendance once we get some more people in, but in the meantime, feel free to start the warm-up. Today, all I got for y'all is a system where I have 4x plus 2y minus 2z is equal to 10, 2x plus 8y plus 4z is equal to 32, and then 30x plus 12y minus 4z is equal to 24. Go ahead and solve that system out by elimination. After that, we're going to take a look at how to graph that system in 3D because Desmos doesn't really have great 3D graphing tools. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to look at a Geogebra's 3D calculator, which it looks different than it looked last year when I was showing it to some people. It looks even more like Desmos now. So I'll post the link after we get going so that y'all can take a look at it and use it. But it functions identical to Desmos. You just type in the equations or whatever. But instead of typing in linear equations and getting lines that pop up in Desmos, it can graph 3D planes because I want y'all to take a look at some of those as you go along through your homework. Let me get caught up from yesterday. I forgot to take attendance for my other classes. I'll do that first, and then I'll take attendance for this class. How's it gone out there?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Could be better, yeah, I guess. But
did y'all see those links I posted yesterday?
yeah, I saw them, but I didn't get to read it yet. I was thinking of reading it today.
Yeah, it's not even reading because I don't trust that students will read articles. I don't trust anybody will read articles. Everything that's posted there is either a GIF or a video. But if y'all have questions on any of that stuff, like if you take a chance to check it out and you want to know more, feel free to post questions in that thread or just ask directly in class, because what else is there to talk about these days?
Oh yeah, I guess they're not videos. They're not articles.
Laura.
I am sharing the correct screen. Y'all can see the do now?
Yeah.
Is it a little dark? Like, is my screen a little dark, or is that my backlight setting?
I think it's fine.
Does it look the same as yesterday? Yeah, I swear, there's something weird about my screen. Like, the backlight's hella low. Even when I turn it all the way up, it still seems pretty low compared to how it normally is. Don't listen to me. I'm just an old man having tech problems.
Mr. Robinson, I actually have a quick question about the virus. Isn't the reason why more people are getting it because there are more tests being done, and not necessarily more people are being infected, but just there are more people being tested for it? Like, aren't the graphs kind of misleading?
No. So while the rate of testing can lead to artifacts in data that are predictable, and this is like a similar line of logic to why autism rates have gone up, and it's because of increased testing, diagnostics, and reclassifications of other diseases. We're aware of what % of the population is being tested. So when they take that and they extrapolate up to how many people we think in the country are probably already infected, that stuff is taken into account.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, theoretically, like in terms of raw numbers, increasing test rates will increase the number of known cases, right? And that should have an artifact in the data, but that artifact is taken into account before like studies are done.
I see.
Lots of people sleeping in today, I guess. Oh well, I'll just take attendance like this, and then we'll do the warm up together, and then you know, it's just supposed to be like a regular workshop period. So if y'all have any questions, just ask. I'll work them out here. And you know, since there's really not much else to do other than that, Netflix and
Animal Crossing.
oh yeah, Animal Crossing, yeah, or Doom if you happen to pick that up. Might as well just get the homework done now so you don't have to worry about it, right?
Yeah.
Actually, Mr. Robinson, if we finish the homework, are we allowed to leave during the workshop time?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, same way how
Yeah.
like if we're physically in class and you
Yeah.
finish the homework, you could just do whatever else you have. Yeah, once you get the homework uploaded, you can totally just roll.
Sweet. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Oh my God, taking attendance on Zoom is the most annoying thing because, like I said before, it sorts your guys' names by first instead of last, so it doesn't match the roll sheet. Okay, that took forever. Let us go ahead now and get started. Did anybody out there happen to get the answer? Did anybody go through the long procedure of elimination here and get an answer for us?
I got that x is equal to 11 and 1/3, but that's about it. I didn't finish.
I don't think so. I think this one works out to nice, clean integers. Though, of course, you know, it's just a thing plucked from a test bank, so the test bank could be wrong. Did anybody else out there get an answer yet? Or are we still eliminating? I'll wait then before we start. Oh, actually, now that I'm looking at the graph, I'm not so sure what the answer will be. I guess we'll find out. Y'all ready to begin eliminating?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Leave my windows straight here. Okay. So what we want to do here is we would like to eliminate, and so we're going to start by trying to line up our various x values. And the goal here is to eliminate 2 of the x's down below with 1 of the x's up top. So this one right here is already positive 30, so we're going to make this one right here positive 30 also. And if these 2 are positive 30, what do we want our top line to be?
Positive 30 or negative 30.
Negative 30, so that all we have to do is take that row and then add it into the others in order to eliminate their x values. And so I'm going to take equation, and again, I'll label these out just because I think it's good practice. 2, 3. And so I'm going to take equation 1 and I'm going to hit it with a multiplier that will turn x into negative 30. And what will do that? What do I have to multiply 4 by to get 30?
7.5.
Right, so I'm going to multiply this first row by negative 15 over 2. Dividing by 2 turns the 4 into 2, and then 2 times 15 is 30. So we're going to multiply that first row by negative 15 over 2. And we're going to multiply the second row here by what will turn the lead term into 30.
15.
Multiply the second row by 15. And so we're going to take and we're going to carry that through. So the first row, our lead term is negative 30. That's the point. So this right here is still equation 1, just multiplied by a constant. And then what's that going to do to my second term? Negative 30x minus
15.
Yeah, 30. Oh, 15, sorry.
minus 15y plus 15z. And then this will be 10 divided by 2, which is 5. 5 times 15 is
75.
Yeah,
Negative
positive.
75, right?
Negative 75, yeah, that's right. Okay, so that's the rewriting of equation 1. And now we'll take equation 2, do the same thing. So this is going to give us 30x plus, and now we're into some big numbers, 8 times 15 plus 120y plus 4 times 15, which will be 60z. Oop, not 160, sorry. Is equal to 480. And then the bottom equation just comes along as normal, so that's just going to be 30x plus 12y minus 4z is equal to 24. Is that okay for the first step, just kind of setting up our elimination of x?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So now what am I going to do? What was the point of making all of those line up?
X.
What about x?
The first 2 equations, we can cancel the.
Right, so now we're going to take equation 1 and we're going to add equation 1 to line 2. We're also going to add equation 1 to line 3. The point is that when we do these steps of addition in both cases, x will get eliminated. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say equation 1 plus equation 2. And hold on, somebody's chewing on a microphone. I'm going to mute everybody. just because there's some like weird feedback or grinding of a microphone or whatever. Anyway, equation 1 plus equation 2. Oh, which by the way, if y'all didn't know, if you're on Zoom or whatever and you're muted, you could press spacebar to unmute yourself just for the length that you need to talk or ask your question. I think that's probably the most organized way to ask a question. Nonetheless. So equation 1 plus equation 2 will yield nothing in terms of x, and then we get to the y part. So it'll be 120 minus 15, which will be 105y. And then it'll be 15 plus 60z, so that's going to be plus 75z. And then it's going to be equal to 480 minus 75. That gives us 405. And then I'm going to take equation 1 and also add it to equation 3. Again, the point of this is that it eliminates the x, and so we're going to get negative 3y, and then minus 11z. I'm sorry, plus 11z. And then it'll be negative 75 plus 24, which gives us negative 51. Are there any questions up to there? Now what can I eliminate?
The z's or the y.
I would say the y's are a little bit cooler to eliminate right now, mostly because there's no obvious common factor between 75 and 11. But if you look at these digits, 1 plus 0 plus 5 is 6, which indicates that this number right here is has a factor of 3. And that factor happens to be 35. So I'm going to take equation 2, and I'm going to multiply everything in equation 2 by 35. This will make it so that my top equation is unchanged, right? This is still going to be what it is, but this bottom equation will now become negative 105y plus 385z, and this is going to be equal to negative 1,785. Is that okay? Y'all have any questions up through there?
Mr. Robinson, I don't know if it's kind of late for this question, but couldn't we have just used z instead to eliminate? Because z,
you can always use z to eliminate, but again, my argument here is that 11 and 75 don't have an obvious common factor the way that 3 and 105 do.
No, I'm talking about like the very first step.
You can always start off by eliminating any of the 3 variables. The order doesn't matter.
Yeah, because it's already positive 4 and negative 4. So if you add 2 and 3, it already eliminates z. And then for the first one, you just multiply by 2.
Sure. Yeah, you could do that. And it'll yield the same answer as long as no mistakes are made. Nonetheless, we've already come this far, headed down this path, right? But I can now take this equation and add it to this equation. So that'll eliminate the y's. And then what does that give me in terms of my like outstanding values? So this will give me 460z is equal to negative 1,380 is what I get?
Yep.
Yeah. And then we'll divide both sides of that equation by 460, and that gives us that z is equal to negative 3. And I believe everybody out there who might have taken some other paths, so long as you make no mistakes, you should end up with the same answer anyway. Are there any questions here on what I've done so far to get z?
No.
No? Okay. So let's just pull this equation right here, negative 3y plus 11z is equal to negative 51. We'll pull that guy in order to get y, because y is already almost isolated. So that'll give us negative 3y plus 11 times negative 3, because that's what z is. That's going to be equal to negative 51. And so that's going to be negative 3y minus 33 is equal to negative 51. Now I'm going to add 33 to both sides. That gives me negative 3y is equal to negative 18. And so y is equal to 6. That's my second value. And now all I have to do is take both of these values, z is negative 3 and y is equal to positive 6, and I can plug them into any of my 3 original equations. I'm just going to choose this one because I'm looking for x, and in the second equation, x has the smallest coefficient. And so that's going to be to say that 2x plus 8 times 6 plus 4 times -3 is equal to 32. 2x plus, and I'll just do this in one step. So 8 times 6 is 48, minus 12 is 36. This is equal to 32. Subtract 36 from each side. 2x is equal to -4. X is equal to -2. And so after all of this work, our answer is the ordered pair, or I guess the ordered triple, -2, 6, -3. And so if we were to graph these 3 planes in 3D space, they should intersect at this ordered point. Are there any questions there on the warm-up? Yes, no?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to post the following link to Google Classroom once I'm done going over it. But everybody take a peek at your screen, even if you zoned out. Check this out. So do y'all see my GeoGebra 3D calculator screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the same way that equations of the form y is equal to mx plus b represents a line in 3D space, always keep in mind that these equations represent planes in 3D space. And for at least one of the homework problems, I want y'all to take a look at it here in GeoGebra. And if you ever get that an answer is no solution because 2 of the planes are parallel, if you want to be sure, like 100% sure that those planes don't intersect, you can feed them in here. And the nice thing about this GeoGebra 3D calculator is that you can type in the equations exactly as they are. So this is going to be 4x plus 2y minus 2z is equal to 10. And then I'm going to make that first plane red. Okay. Sorry, the webcam screen is in the way. I'll type in the second equation now. So our second equation is 2x plus 8y plus 4z is equal to 32. And then our third equation was 30x plus 12y minus 4z is equal to 24. I will make the second equation purple. Okay, great. And you can see here where they intersect, which I really like about this because you can like rotate it freely in space. I also think you can set it in motion so that it just like rotates at a constant speed. There we go. And you can see that their intersection is down here, is that point that we just indicated. That would be the point -2, 6, -3. You can see how right here where my mouse pointer is, all 3 of those planes converge on each other. This is a really nice tool to use to try and visualize what these equations represent. Are there any questions on this stuff or this warm-up?
No.
No? Yeah, this stuff's pretty straightforward. It's just time consuming. This time is yours, and if y'all have any questions on the homework, just holler, please. And I took that link and I posted it to Classroom. Oh, I see we have a couple of people who came in late. I'll update the attendance. also get them. I told y'all yesterday about what JPL was doing about the viral outbreak, right?
Yeah, that they're making respirators, right, or something.
Yeah, ventilators. Yeah, I emailed about going up there to volunteer, but they haven't gotten back to me, though I understand why with how busy stuff is right now. Okay, yeah, I have the homework open in case any of y'all want me to do a problem.
Mr. Rob,
Yep.
if we finished.
And this is true for all workshops, what I'm about to say. If you ever finish the homework, just get it uploaded. I will grade it and you're free to go. So if you're already done with it, if you wrapped it up yesterday, that's fine. Just turn it in and then feel free to sign off.
Sweet. Okay. Yeah, all right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, Mr.
Yep.
Robinson.
See you.
Peace. Have a nice day. Yeah, I got your guys' homework. Thank you. I assume everybody's just humming along doing the homework. Nobody has any questions, which is why it's quiet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Just so y'all know, like kind of where the class is headed, we're basically going to get to the mid-chapter quiz in this chapter, and that'll be the last thing we do before we head out for spring break.
Mr. Robinson,
Yep.
will the mid-chapter quiz be this week?
No, it'll be next week.
Okay.
Because next week we were supposed to operate basically up until Wednesday, and those last few days before spring break were going to be parent-teacher conferences. We're not doing parent-teacher conferences, I'm pretty sure, not through Zoom or whatever. So class will run like normal up through Wednesday, and I think that Wednesday will be our mid-chapter quiz, like right on the last day, and then we'll head off to break. Unless stuff changes. I think there's teachers meetings either today or tomorrow. So I might be wrong about what I just said, but I'll let you know. Oh, should move that.
Mr. Robinson, can
Yep.
we go over number 11, please? Because
For the following exercises, solve each system by substitution, that one?
yeah, the
Yeah,
first
so,
question.
yeah, I mean, so I'll be real with you. For any of those questions that say solve by substitution, you're free to use elimination. It's a better technique, but I can definitely do it by substitution if you want to see that.
No, actually, can we do it with elimination?
Yeah, and I recommend you do all of these by elimination. It's just a better, wiser procedure. Yeah. Yeah. So what I would do if I was you, let me start off by getting it down real quick. And is it cool if I just make like the first move and then you can do the rest? So question number 11 is 3x minus 4y plus 2z is equal to negative 15. 2x plus 4y plus z is equal to 16. And then 2x plus 3y plus 5z is equal to 20. So you are always free to start off by eliminating any variable you want. Like you could hit these against each other to eliminate y since they're already lined up. But like I've said before, I'm just more comfortable aligning the x's first to start so that we're solving for y's and z's. And so I'm going to force all of the x's to line up. I'm going to take the first equation and I'm going to multiply it by -2 so that my coefficient on x is -6. I'm going to take the second equation and therefore multiply it by 3. Third equation, also multiply it by 3 so that all of the x's lead coefficients is 6 or -6. And so my first equation becomes -6x plus 8y minus 4z is equal to 30. My second equation becomes 6x plus 8y plus 2z is equal to 32. Oh, wait, nope. Sorry. I got smooth brain right now. That's not what I meant. Times 3, not times 2. So 12, 3, and then 3 times 16 is 48, right? Equals 48. And then we hit 3 into the bottom equation, so that's going to give us 6x plus 9y plus 15z is equal to 60. Is that okay? Yeah? No? So again, the point here is that it lines up all of these lead coefficients for us as, as eliminating -6x, +6x, +6x. So now I can take equation 1 and add it into equation 2. I can also take equation 1 and add it into equation 3. And then when I do that, we're going to get 2 equations that don't have x. So that gives us 0x plus 20y minus z is equal to 78. And then my second equation, again, eliminates x. 8 plus 9 will give me 17y plus 11z equals 90. And then I think, again, the next thing here to eliminate would then be z. Hit this equation with 11, and you can get those z's to eliminate, giving you back y. Is that okay? Yeah, it's okay, Mr. Rob. Okay, great. Oh, also, don't name names, but did y'all talk to the seniors? I'm only asking because a bunch of college admission stuff came out.
I know a few people, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like their class did a pretty good job.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my internet. It's weird.
I mean, and this, I'm not going to be giving anybody late penalties on anything for a long time because, like, with everybody in the whole country switching over to Zoom and Google Classroom all at once, both of them have been super unstable. So if y'all ever try to turn anything in on Google Classroom and it's like just not working and it's going to be late as a result, like, don't trip. I'm just not going to give late penalties for a while.
Okay.
And worst comes to worst, just email me it directly. It'll come through. It won't be as organized and it'll make it harder for me to grade, but that's fine.
All right. Thank you.
Like, even right now, I can't even get freaking Gmail to load, which sucks because next hour I'm doing mock interviews with the seniors. And if I can't email them their individual Zoom links, then I like just can't do it.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, so I got something. I did something else, Mr. Robinson. I actually hit the first and second equation with the third one, so I made the third equation negative, and then
sure, if you do it right, it'll give the same answer in the end.
is it the same two equations?
No, you'll get two different equations, but those two equations will have the same solution.
Okay.
Which
let me
is
try
like
it out.
weird to think about. But yeah, no matter in what order you assemble and add and eliminate, it'll look different in the intermediary steps, but the final numeric answer will be exactly the same.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you get an answer for y and z and you want to make sure that it like works with this, just plug it in here in either one of these lines and it'll give back a true answer if you want to check that you're doing it right before you go on to get x.
Okay. So
Yay, I got Gmail to work. Hey, do any of y'all have part-time jobs? No? Nobody in this group has a part-time job? Hmm?
Yeah, I did the work for number 11 and I got like a weird fraction, so I guess I'm doing it wrong. I'll try it again.
Question number 11.
Yeah, I'm still on that.
No, it happens. These are time consuming, so that's normal. Time consuming, but easy as long as you don't lose a sign or whatever. And yeah, the answer to 11 is integer. It should be -1, 4, 2.
Hmm.
Have any of y'all adapted to new ways of exercising yet? Has anybody out there tried down dog?
Yeah.
Oh yeah?
It's cool.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. Do you have a yoga mat?
Yeah, I found one.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I would strongly recommend getting a yoga mat just because if you're like doing yoga on a hard floor, it can make it hard to get friction, especially when you do the pose down dog and you're like pushing your hands against your feet. Yoga mat helps a bunch with that.
Yeah. It like requires a lot of focus though, and that's hard.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing about like exercise is that you definitely find a point where the challenge is not what your body is doing, but forcing your brain to make your body do what you want it to do. That is the hardest thing about running the marathon. It's like the leg cramps are fine. You can push through it. You can like drink pickle juice or whatever trick to get over the physical part. But yo, man, keeping your mind in the game for like 3 or 4 hours straight of running is much more taxing than what it does to the body. Oh, I don't know if I said that meme the other day and if y'all picked up on it, but we're all going to come out of this staying at home thing looking like the Thor. The question is which one? It'll be hilarious if like we all go back to school and everybody's just like ripped.
Or Fat Thor.
Yeah, you either come out totally jacked or you come out as Fat Thor. Yeah. Get that Down Dog app while it's free, man. It's free all the way till July. Just get like Yoga Buff.
Noob Master.
Yeah.
New Master 6.
I mean, and not to mention, you know, if you get really good at yoga, it's a way to justify purchasing $100 like yoga pants. Get real buff and then go raid Lululemon. Which, for the record, oddly enough, Lululemon makes men's stuff, I found out recently. Okay, I'll end the stream there just because I'm not getting that many questions. Keep in mind, y'all, the homework is due tonight. The odd answers are in the back of the book, which by the back of the book, I mean like the very end of the PDF. Y'all know you can scroll back there and look at the answers, or you can just type the equation sets into Wolfram Alpha and it'll do it for you. Please do graph at least one of them in that 3D graphing website that I posted, just because I think it's like good for your brain. And when we come in tomorrow, we'll have a warm-up like this. It'll be a 3x3, or maybe I'll cut one of the equations down so that it's a little bit quicker, just because it was a bummer how long it took to do today's warm-up. Though, I mean, I guess if you're all working from home, if you get bored of the warm-up because I'm doing it too slow, you could just zone out and go back to doing your own stuff, right? But nonetheless, when we come in tomorrow, we'll have a lecture on 9.3, where we'll be solving nonlinear systems in 2 variables. So instead of trying to figure out where a line crosses, we'll figure out where a line crosses a parabola, or a parabola crosses a circle. And I like those cases. I think they're interesting because when you solve for the intersection of 2 lines, you could only ever get one solution. But what we're going to see tomorrow is that in more interesting cases, you can get multiple answers. My favorite is when you have a parabola cross a circle. You could get 2 solutions here and here, or you could even get funkier cases where you have more than 2 solutions, 1, 2, 3, 4 solutions, depending on the relative position of your circle and your parabola. But we'll go over these more complicated solution techniques tomorrow. Y'all have a nice day, and please do look at that like COVID virus like info dump I put. Like you should educate yourselves, and they're listed on there in increasing order of specificity. So at the very least, please look at that first one. It's just like a 5-second GIF that very clearly explains why it is that we are all socially isolating ourselves. If you only get to one of those links, let it be that first one. Oh, is there a question out there? Did somebody raise hand? Yeah, what up?
Just real quick, do you want us to turn in that graph we do on Geogebra?
Oh, you know, last time I made it a homework assignment to turn it in, and I was glad that everybody did that part. I won't make it mandatory for this one. That's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but just like take a look at it for your own brain's benefit. You know, get used to doing stuff like that just for yourself. It'll make you smarter.
Okay.
Anyway, you all have a very nice day. I'll see you tomorrow. And you know, if being home alone is getting weird or whatever, reach out to your people. Like, do a thing, even if it's like play a video game online or whatever. Because even that, you know, at a distance, social interaction is better than no social interaction. Also, get ripped. Peace, y'all.
See you, Mr. Ronson.
See you.
Peace.